Hi there! We're going to be talking about using the Grade Center. So first of all, I want to go over a couple of things. You need to enable the Grade Center's view for your students. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go up here to the big blue button with the plus sign, and you're going to be clicking on it to add a menu item. Remember, everything that you bring in through this big blue button will add to the menu. I'm going to go over here to Create Tool Link. I'm going to drop down the menu and I'm going to find where it says My Grades. Then I can name it Grade Book or anything I want to name it. My Grades, Your Grades, and then I'm going to make sure it's available to users, and then I'm going to click on Submit. Notice it has appeared at the end of the menu, and I can move it into place if I click on the left mouse button and I can drag it up into place, or I can leave it where it was. So now that I have enabled the gradebook for Students View, you'll notice when you click inside the gradebook, you will not be able to access anything because your role as an instructor does not have any personal grades. So to actually work with the Grade Center, we're going to go over to the Control Panel. So I'm going to scroll down to the Control Panel and notice we have Grade Center. But to go straight to the Grade Center page, you can click on the chevron or you can go to the full Grade Center. All of your students will be listed in the Grade Center. Now, some of these columns I will be able to manage and make invisible. I might not need all the columns. Notice that the Grade Center comes with two default grade columns, the weighted total and the total. Something else I want to discuss with you about the Grade Center is when you create in your content areas, your learning modules, you create things such as assignments, whether it's Turnitin assignments or the regular Blackboard assignments, blogs, wikis, journals, threaded discussions, and you actually put points associated with those activities, it will automatically make a column for you. Now, you can also, if you don't use any of those tools in your class, you can actually create columns. I like to think of them as standalone columns. They're not associated with anything over here in the menu. They're columns that you're going to just post grades manually to. They don't need to be graded through a threaded discussion, through an assignment. Now again, I want to make that clear. If you decide to use any of the tools such as the threaded discussions and you create a threaded discussion forum for your students to participate in, you will remember that in the settings you have an opportunity to put points. Once you put points in that area, it will automatically create a column for you in the Grade Center. Okay, so I want you to be careful about that. You don't need to create any columns if you use some of those assignments that are associated with creating grade columns. So if you have any questions about that, let's make sure that you ask. Something else that I want to talk to you about. Under the Manage button, you'll notice we have categories. I always recommend going the second mile just in case in the future you decide to weight columns, maybe put a running total for just certain types of activities or assignments. So you have, for a default, approximately 7 categories that are already created. You did not have to do anything to come up with these categories. If these fit the type of assignments that you're going to create columns for, then fine, you don't need to create any new categories. But some instructors like to create their own categories. Perhaps you want a category called homework. All of the homework assignments are going to be categorized as such. So you would come over here and you'd click on Create Category, and you would make a homework category. Now, this might not make sense now, but it will later when I show you how we use it. There you have a new category, and now you can go back to the Grade Center and we can start making columns. Now, as I mentioned before, when you create a column, you will want to associate a column with a category. And again, go that second mile, because in the future you may want to use weighted totals. You may want to create running totals for certain types of activities that you want to group together. So now we're ready to create a standalone column. I'm going to click on the Create Column button. A new screen comes up, and I can name this column whatever I like, and I'm just going to call it Homework 1. Now, you have column name and then column or grade center name. What's interesting about this is if you would like to do this, you can abbreviate the grade center name. The column name is required, the grade center name is not, but sometimes it's nice to abbreviate it. This name will only be seen in your grade center. Now, before we get started going any further, I want you to notice this. Columns are added to the Grade Center automatically for work done on the system in, remember I said, threaded discussions, assignments, test surveys, journals, those types of areas where you have put points in when you're creating them. And notice as I'm scrolling down, you have a text box editor that you can put a description to yourself and to your students about what this particular homework assignment is. You have a primary display. Most of the time it's going to be score. You can have a secondary display. It will be displayed only to you. So notice that it's a letter, percentage, or complete or incomplete. Now, category. Most people forget about this. I want you to click on this drop-down menu. Remember we made that category ahead of time? Good thing, because we're going to use it. So now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to make sure this is in the homework category. And now I can put my points in. I'm giving you 10 points for your homework. There is rubrics that you can associate with this if you have prepared rubrics ahead of time or you would like to create rubrics for the first time. If not, don't worry about it. You can scroll down. You can have due dates for these assignments. I would try to keep this open as possible, and the less dates that you can work with, the better it is for you, because remember, you're going to have to change these dates from semester to semester. As I scroll down, there's options. Include this column in the Grade Center calculations. You want to say yes. Most of the time you want to say yes, that you're showing this column to students, and you can decide whether you want to show the statistics for this column to the students in their grades. Once you're done with that, you're going to click on Submit. Now we're back to the Grade Center and we're going to take a look at the column that we just created. Okay. Homework 1. It's abbreviated. Now I'm going to show you how to put the points in. Click on the cell and I can put the points in this way. And I can enter and it will ask me to confirm those points. And I can continue to go down and put the points in. And I'm just clicking on enter after I put the points in. Everybody's getting 10 points. And that's how you can fill up the columns. Notice the running total is adding that up. There's a lot to the full Grade Center, and we have just touched the hem of the garment here. So go in, try your hand at creating some columns, but I hope you have enjoyed learning about the Grade Center. Thank you.